Seriously?
Well, it's not always that simple. What's up, y'all? Veda here, and in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to defend against Yosuke's Moonsault. In order to do this, I'll be starting with the basics of what Moonsault is and how it is performed so you can set this up and practice for yourself. The properties and details of why it works the way it does, common applications of Moonsault to be aware of, and finally, how to counteract them. Jumping into the basic description of Moonsault, Moonsault is a special movement option unique to Yosuke that follows an arching direction as he flips in the air. Yosuke can go into this special a few ways, by starting in the air and doing 2-6 or 2-4B to choose which direction he will start with, by canceling into it after any version of his run special with 6 or 4B, or by interrupting his JC with a full Moonsault input. He can do this for a total count of 3 times, whether consecutively or by interrupting it with V/ and saving the remaining count to do after he recovers from the special. It is also important to note that due to the arch of Moonsault, it is able to cross up to the other side over your head. This is the case even in the corner. Moving on to the properties of Moonsault. Moonsault has an overhead hitting follow-up called Crescent Slash, which can be used by tapping the B button again after Moonsault has finished its animation. This follow-up is done automatically when using EX Moonsault. The full Moonsault animation is active for 20 frames, having involve starting from frame 4 and ending at frame 11, and has 9 frames of recovery upon landing. The Crescent Slash follow-up has 5 frames of startup. It can be cancelled from Moonsault on the 20th frame, making for a 25 frame reaction window. EX Moonsault cuts this down to 20 frames, making it more difficult to react to, and removes the arch, making it stay on the same side at all times. Next are the applications of Moonsault. Due to both the movement and envelope properties of Moonsault, it can become very difficult to hit Yosuke, as you have undoubtedly noticed. For this reason, it is highly recommended that when fighting against Yosuke, you avoid using anti-airs, DPs, or any other high committal moves when he is directly above you. An exception to this rule being full screen or generally big hitbox supers that cover the entire arch and are active enough to hit him. However, this can be difficult to use on reaction due to him crossing you up when directly above you and easily baited if used preemptively. Another application of Moonsault is using it as a mix-up tool, of course. As stated before, due to his arch, Moonsault can cross you up anywhere on the screen, and his follow-up Crescent Slash is an overhead. This makes blocking it a bit awkward, as this is not common for most mix-up tools in the game. You have to both switch from crouch blocking to stand blocking and your guard from left to right or vice versa. This isn't always the case due to EX Moonsault staying on the same side. However, since it is faster, that makes the mix-up situation more ambiguous since you can't autopilot switching your guard direction. Another application is TK Moonsault for a quick cross-up or same side high depending on which version is used. However, it is slower by 4 frames due to adding on jump startup. Finally, how to deal with these applications. Trying to directly interrupt Moonsault can be risky as shown by the previous examples, so how do you properly defend against it? The answer to this question is simple: block it. That, or depending on the situation, avoid it entirely. As covered in the Moonsault properties section of the video, Moonsault into Crescent Slash is a 25 frame cross up high. This is slower than all 5 Cs in the game, so it is highly reactable, and we have covered how to block it. I stated that EX Moonsault adds ambiguity because it can catch you off guard by being faster and taking advantage of autopiloting the switch in guard direction. However, you can minimize getting hit by this move by assuming it will happen and watching for the cross-up arch, rather than reacting to it. I still autopilot and get hit by this from time to time as well, so don't be discouraged if you get hit sometimes. That's just how fighting games work. Once you have blocked all hits of Moonsault, the opponent will usually use that opportunity to cancel straight into V/, which has a punishable window before recovering that you can take advantage of if they don't have an assist to cover it. If you are lost on how to punish it, you can check out my guide on that in the description. If the opponent for any reason doesn't cancel into V/ after Moonsault is blocked, whether that be because they already used it before testing the ground, or a more advanced Yosuke chooses to land before using all counts to hit you with a pressure reset, the landing recovery of Moonsault allows for a full punish as well. Something that is also important to mention is that you don't always have to hold a Moonsault mix if you have meter. Whether it be off run or blocking one Crescent Slash, you can always just push block him off you with 1 meter available. There are a few more advanced ways of defending against Moonsault once you have gotten used to the Yosuke player's habits that include interrupting or not respecting him, This may go against what I said before, however I am only providing this as an option on a more of a player-by-player basis. Since Moonsault can only be used 3 times, you can count the actions taken by the player when doing it and interrupt them before they have the chance to make it safe or use an assist. One of such ways being using an anti-air between blocking the second crescent slash going into the third moonsault. This works because once Yosuke is committed to the third moonsault, he cannot flip again to bait the anti-air, making it a guaranteed punish if timed correctly. Another advanced way of defending against this is by running or jumping out of the situation if you notice that the Yosuke player does a lot of empty flip baits at certain intervals rather than using the crescent slash follow-up. To follow up on this counterplay, rather than just stating that you can do it, I will show you that it can be done myself with a few examples. I messed it up, but I just didn't actually react in time.